technically it's afternoon when we're filming.
Hello.
Yes, this is my friend Nicole. And Nicole is here to discuss all sorts of things. But first I have to say, right now where I'm sitting, I'm totally blinded by the light.
Completely blinded.
Blinded by the light, dressed up like a...
Yeah, we don't know if we should say what we thought that
I was
deuce.
It's a deuce, which, what is that, being dressed up like a deuce? Like, what's a deuce? I was like 36. I was like 36 years old when I found out it was dressed up like a deuce.
Yeah, the word that I always thought it was.
I know.
I think I was older when I realized it too.
And actually, if it was French, it would just mean taking a shower.
There you go.
So in France, if you're dressed up like a douche, then you're just like someone who's taking a shower. You're like super clean.
You're clean.
Yeah, yeah. Happy Black Black Friday.
Day after Thanksgiving.
Right, but since this is going to be put up so late, we should have this be sort of Fridays, Saturdays. There isn't usually a Saturday Rememoration Morning. What's Saturday called? Is Saturday Shop Locally Saturday or something?
I believe so.
Shop
Local Business Saturday.
Local Business Saturday. Well, if I can be bothered. Anyway, I've had a lovely day here with my friend Nicole, who I haven't seen in a while.
We had a lovely lunch.
We had a lovely lunch. It was good fun.
A little spot of tea.
I know. A little spot of tea and pie and leftovers done up in a fancy way.
Very fancy.
Very fancy.
Appreciate
I tried. So, yeah, Black Friday. Oh, the other thing is I found out that this was the first year that they had Black Friday in Scotland.
Really?
Yeah, they don't have Thanksgiving in Scotland. So what the heck with the Black Friday?
What's the point?
And so I asked someone on Facebook, so were people off of work? Because part of this is it's a national holiday because it's the Thanksgiving weekend when you're meant to be with your family, seeing them when you don't get to see them and doing stuff with them and being thankful for them. And now, maybe they're shopping together though.
Maybe.
Okay, so maybe some families shop for a hobby.
Maybe
They
that's
would be
what they
rich
do.
families though.
So.
Yeah, if you're rich, you could shop. Yeah, you could shop as a way of.
But
I mean, that could be a hobby.
you get
I
really
suppose.
good deals on Black Friday, so some
I
people
know.
just want to get
See?
all that Christmas shopping done and out of the way.
I guess I shouldn't judge it as a bad thing.
You shouldn't.
I shouldn't. It's wrong to judge.
It's just too crowded for me. And I don't need to wait in line
It's the hype.
for something.
Yeah, it's the hype.
Yeah.
And also, and I'll admit this, I don't really like to be in the mainstream.
That is not shocking.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not surprised by that? Like, if everyone's like, oh, like, this is sort of embarrassing. I didn't read the Harry Potter books for like a really, really long time. Oh, you really? Oh, that's cool.
I've never read the Harry Potter
Because when the Harry Potter books came out and people were like, oh, it was like the first Harry Potter book, and oh my goodness, you have to read this, it's like so creative, you'll love it, and it's magical, and it's blah, 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 and I was just like, oh, and everybody likes it? Well, I won't be reading it then.
So you waited until everyone read them?
Not everyone read them, but
all?
it was pretty far along, and then I started hearing some details about them, and I was like, well, you know what, I should probably just read it, but you know I'm going to hate it. But I ended up liking, I like the first one better than the others, but
I don't know.
yeah.
Never read them.
I'm not really into like series.
I don't mind
Series? Is
series.
it series? Series?
Series of books? I don't know.
Series? What's the plural of series?
I think that is plural.
But
I don't know if you
But no, it's a plural of singular thing.
Yeah.
But
a series of books.
yeah, but if there's more than
series
one
means
series,
more than one.
like what if you like movies that are also like I like Lord of the Rings and I like Star Wars and I like Harry Potter. So those are series. Is it series?
Series, I think. It's just always
It's still series.
Yeah.
Like deer.
Yes.
She's good, isn't she?
Plural.
She's really, really good. Okay, the other thing you don't know about Nicole is that she's a social worker. I'm leaning forward because of the sun, so I hope you're enjoying this sort of different thing here. So she's a social worker, and we've talked about social work, and we've talked about the work of the church. And so now we should talk about that in front of you people, because that'll be fun for you. You'll care. You'll be like, wow, that's super interesting. They're having a conversation at Jeannie's dining room table. Right, so yeah, I mean, I oftentimes wonder, it feels to me that a lot of churches are doing social work. And if that's the case, if they're just doing social work, then why aren't they just social workers? So, do you ever feel like social workers are doing the work of the church?
I don't know. I mean, social work, it's interesting because we're such a big field. So there's definitely social workers in faith-based organizations.
Right.
But then you do see a lot of pastors and church folk that are doing outreach and doing the work of social workers.
Well, there are
So there's
degrees where you can get
there's a
divinity
divide.
and your MSW at the same time.
So it's kind of like it seems like it all kind of goes together.
When did social work become a thing?
In the like late 1800s, Jane Addams.
Okay, Jane Addams.
And the Hull House, and
My Chicago friends know all about that.
Yeah.
I used to work at Jane Addams Elementary, and some of you guys went to Jane Addams.
Really
She's kind of
just
considered the first one.
people wanting to help people.
Okay,
you
and
know,
so,
that's where it
and
came
also,
from.
I mean, I think what social workers know that a lot of ministers don't know, sort of initially when they come to a community, is where people can get help.
Right.
So, like, if someone comes up and says, "I have no food," a social worker will sort of know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have those resources. We know
Right.
where to send people.
Mhm.
Yeah. You find sometimes in the church though, they know what's in their community,
Yeah,
perhaps.
yeah.
Maybe not outside of the community,
Mhm.
but know what's in the community and send people out.
Core to Christianity is the belief that, Christ was and is yet to come, and that the work of Christ is continued through the people who take Christ on, like in communion.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
literally, if you're Episcopal or Catholic, and some Lutherans literally feel they're taking on the body of Christ.
Yes.
And then some, the other Lutherans and others, believe that it's mystical and that you are, and you're symbolically, and you can't tell what's what, big mystery. And then others, it's just a symbol that you're taking on the work of Christ. And I think people take communion, myself included, and don't always think about that. You know, it's just like once a month we have communion, or every
It's
week
just
we have
what we do.
communion, and it's just what you do. You go up and that bread or a wafer and a little bit of wine, grape juice if you're Presbyterian, and and so there is this connection with the divine. It's like the biggest World Wide Web there is. This prayer connection, this mystical connection, and so working with social workers, they're doing the same, like, literal work for people, feeding them and clothing them and finding them places to live and giving them some kind of counseling and helping them find jobs. But the church needs to provide, and church people, not just the churches and the minister, but people who have decided that they want to be part of a faith-based community and that they've got a spiritual life that they recognize. There's got to be that mystical element in it that provides hope and reaches out to people. That's scary, though.
Very scary.
It's very scary. Why is it scary for people, do you think?
It's just such an unknown kind of thing, you know? I mean, and if you're not, for me, I'm not someone who's super religious. I'm not someone who, I think there's something out there. But if I'm going to be providing counseling and therapy and stuff like that to my clients, if they are spiritual, then we'll try and pull on that. But they're teaching me about what their spirituality is, what their religion is. So we're going to use it in counseling and therapy and in, their positive coping skills.
Right, but so
we just add it to their coping skills.
And there's just so many different belief systems. And everyone's belief system is their own.
Exactly.
I mean, I know a lot of people who I know through church that believe in a kind of modified reincarnation. Oftentimes talk about karma and they're not even aware that that's Hindu or Buddhist. They haven't heard it in church, but they've heard it through popular culture, and so there's syncretism with all of the different types of people that we have living in America, and I think that's beautiful.
Absolutely.
I think that's totally beautiful.
I'll just learn from each other.
I think that, like, part of the reason why when you're in situations through the church, or if you are me as a chaplain out with people, working in a similar way to what you do as a social worker, I think that people are scared you're going to try to convert. And so that becomes scary because nobody wants to have a belief system kind of forced on them. And I'm not even sure it is forced. It's just this idea that it might be
You
forced.
feel like it really
And
is.
it's and I think so it has to be totally rethought of that we can do Christ's work and it can be given any name. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it can begin in any name.
Mm-hmm.
But if you feel that there's a divine presence that asks you to love your neighbor as you love yourself, that, you know, the ancient Hebrews had no name for God. I mean, we say Yahweh, but the letters that stand for that are just air letters. So it's like, so it's like the wind, that brought order to chaos. It's like the spirit that moved over the water. You can't say
beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's a beautiful thought.
So Jews don't say the name of God. You know, they'll say Adonai, they'll say Lord, but they don't say the name of God because it's a name that is too wonderful for us to even say. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Like, why do we?
That's a great
it's
concept.
like God is
It's a great
so
thing to say.
amazing and so wonderful that it's just.
It's too much to
So when you're
verbalize.
speaking, you're like,
Yeah.
our breath, our breathing in, our breathing out. This is what God is like, and
it's within you and
it's
around
within
you
and
and wherever
around
you want it to be.
making life possible. So if we approach it like that, then all of us can do the work of social work and the work of God.
And we're working with the people that a lot of people don't want to work with.
No,
You know, we're providing services and supports to the people that, you know, they have nowhere to
can't help
go or
themselves.
they need assistance, and a lot of people don't want to do that work. So
Yeah,
we do it.
and you do a good job.
You do a good job. It's your job.
Look at us. We're like, and you know what? You guys do a good job too.
Fabulous
Because
job.
I'm going to encourage that you go into your day and recognizing that you represent the divine. You took the bread, you took the wine, and you know what Christ asked you to do. And that was love God with all your heart and soul and mind, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. That you love those people around you, and you don't let them starve, and you don't let them be naked, and you don't let them be living out with gold.
This is a very good message for our Thanksgiving holiday.
Yay! Happy Black
Happy
Friday!
Black Friday.
Shop nearby locally Saturday.
And don't forget Giving Tuesday. Give back to your local nonprofit.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
good.
new thing. It's a new holiday.
Okay, so
Giving
we got
Tuesday.
Cyber Monday.
Cyber Monday.
And
Order online.
and Giving Back Tuesday,
Yes.
which actually makes a great gift. Because
Yeah.
especially like old people like my dad, he really doesn't need anything.
Yeah.
So he says, when you say, what do you want for Christmas? He says, I want you to be happy. That's always.
So make a donation to your favorite charity.
Make a donation to your
in his
favorite
name.
charity in his name, and oftentimes you get like a little thing to put on the Christmas tree.
Absolutely.
Right? So
Perfect.
do those things. Thank you for coming and being on
Thank you for
Memoration
having
Morning.
me.
And you guys know that you are loved by a God who will never let you go, and by us too, because we love you and we want you to be happy.
Absolutely.
Right on!
That's so fun.